Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another Toonamaste live stream. Here once again here with the legendary Robert Nally, here to show off the amazing game, City of Murals. As you already know, we did one before, but this time it's going to be even better, even grander, even more fun and more amazing of an experience, and even more of an awesome showcase, because this game deserves to be shown in the light, because it's absolutely phenomenal. With that being said, Robert, if you'd like to intro yourself.
Hey, yeah, I'm Rob Nally, Philadelphia teacher and game dev, and working on this game, City of Murals.
Yes, indeed he is. This game is wonderful. And you can also see the skill that's gone into it. So let me just start off by showing y'all. Okay. Mute this stuff. Okay, sweet. All set. Okay. I think we are ready to take our beautiful journey into the world of City of Murals. But before we start, just once again, I'd like to say, this title screen is, there's just so much that's like drawing my eyes in from like small, like I see in the top corner, the top of the screen, you have like the left and right click of the mouse.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just wanted it to sort of feel full and have a lot of color, and so I threw whatever sort of icons I guess I've made kind of in here to kind of fill it a little bit. So a lot of these are just icons like in the game that will explain certain things in the game.
I understand. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I'm loving it. All right, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. Cool. So the world is competing to see who can live the longest. There's basically alien technology that helps you live longer, and that's kind of what you're looking to that's one of the things you're kind of looking to get. And so you're like an eternalist that's sort of just interested in like living as long as you can if you find this like alien technology. And then there are fatalists that are like not interested, people that aren't interested in sort of living longer, that are sort of the villains in the game. So this is sort of the villain who's kind of like out to get you. And
the puppet master.
The puppet master, yeah. And then this is like sort of a mechanic in the game. So you have this timer, and it's random. And if that timer goes to 0, you die. So it's sort of just like a little bit of like a motivating factor to kind of get some of these collectibles and kind of push you along a little bit.
Okay. Wow.
This is kind of like your home base. There's kind of like a couple sort of like cities in the game. It's actually kind of roguelike. So like if you die, you kind of you come back here and you end up being a different person. So like right now, we're Patrick Klepek and we're 175 years old. And so yeah, like if we die, we end up being like a new person. But we also get an ability. Right now we don't have any, like we haven't died at all, so we don't have any of these to sort of upgrade. But every time you die, you actually get an upgrade. So you can kind of like jump back in and hopefully give yourself something to sort of make it easier. And hopefully over time, there'll be like more upgrades and stuff. That's like a thing we're kind of working on. We're also working on just like usability and stuff of trying trying to like make it a little smoother with like some of the UI and stuff like that, and trying to improve some of that. Yeah.
But I thought that was super cool. The whole like your character is like every time you die, it's like an evolution.
Yeah. I want to add to that like a ton too, like hopefully over time. But yeah, we're still kind of working on stuff. This is actually like a little suit upgrade. So there are these like suit shops, and you can kind of actually these are the different like suits you can also kind of find in the game. So like over time you find like robots and stuff, and you can kind of like acquire their suit, and so there's like different skins, and a lot of them are different like homages to like the Ninja Turtles, or that one's meant to be sort of like Aang, and there's like Zelda and stuff like that. So there's like sort of like a Mega Man kind of one.
The pink one reminds me of like Princess Bubblegum.
That's what that one's called. It's just called Bubblegum.
Oh, yo.
That's what that one's there's like an Iron Man one up there too.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, some I think we got a couple new ones coming too, like on the way. That'll be kind of cool. This is the like alien time technology. So like at the bottom of the screen, it sort of says low. So we're like under 5 minutes, but we can kind of like grab one of those. It gives us like a little bit of time to kind of go. This is like your armory. So like on your gun, you could kind of like upgrade your damage and your speed, which is kind of your accuracy, and like the force that your bullets do and stuff like that. And it uses your current like clip count to work. So we could like increase our damage, but it'll like decrease the number of shots that we have. So you can kind of like, once we get like more of those, we can kind of play with that and sort of determine. There's like a trade-off of like, do you want to be able to like shoot more bullets, or would you be cool with like shooting less bullets but they're more damage? And there's like, it's almost like a slider sort of in that sense that you could kind of like play with it.
Okay.
You
like
so you could like,
that's sick.
Rather than like picking up a shotgun, you could like make yourself a shotgun in a way.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, you like?
Yeah, that's sick. Cause like that's like I just haven't seen someone do that before, or at least maybe I haven't played a game like that before, where it's like I have a gun that I just adjust the gun, and then it becomes one. That's awesome.
So if you want to like you could increase your bullet speed and like increase your damage, and you can make like a sniper rifle too. It's like it's all in the same gun. It's just like it's how you want to customize it. You could also just like not mess with that too, and like just have a lot of bullets if you wanted to, because that sometimes that works as well. It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of up to you how you want to like play with it and mess with it. It was kind of like inspired by Final Fantasy VII and their sort of system. I felt their system was always like very interesting to me with the materia, and like just how many slots it had and stuff like that. This is sort of like your spaceship, so you kind of like fly around to different planets. You can kind of like shoot a little bit. We can kind of speed up a little bit. And then there's like a brake tube.
Oh, zooming. Love it. Love to see it.
And then this is sort of like, that's the sort of like the little sort of tutorial for the spaceship. And then this is like, this is sort of your overworld. So that's sort of like our home space station where we kind of came from. That's planet question mark. That's a bit of a mystery that we kind of leave. And then there's like a main planet. There's like a little there's sort of like a demo planet here. Do you have a preference? We could kind of go to whichever you're interested in.
That planet to the right, that green one looks really cool.
This one? Okay. Yeah. We'll check this one out.
Moonlight.
There's like a swamp planet that's sort of in between, and hopefully over time the plan is to like add some more planets and stuff like that too. Cool. So here we're at. So, and this is kind of like a decent sort of planet to kind of start. So it lets us know like in the levels there are energy keys. It's kind of like Metroid. So like you want to kind of find keys, and then the keys open doors, and certain levels will have multiple doors, so you can like choose like, do you want to go through like maybe an easier door that doesn't require too many keys, or like will you collect a bit more and go through like a harder door or something that requires more keys and stuff.
Okay. Ooh, those light. Oh, the textures on the spider is really cool.
I might get owned a little bit. Hopefully I don't die. That would, yeah. Sometimes I do kind of die, yeah. I'm getting...
Oh, the ragdoll effect is really cool too.
I'm gonna cheat maybe a little bit and just shoot these guys down.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. They dropped like...
Yeah, they drop like little, so these are just like little health things. So we lost a bit of health, but we can kind of like pick those up and just gain health. And then they do drop like a little bit of time. That's sort of the purple stuff. So there's like a small like little upgrade we get there, but like actually this is sort of like a semi-secret kind of door. But we could kind of find like bigger ones that'll like give us like more sort of time. So now we've got like 15 minutes and stuff like that. And hopefully over time I want to kind of maybe add like something, maybe some of the upgrades will cost you a bit of time or something like that. And then this is sort of like a cool new feature that one of our programmers put in recently that's working with me, Keenan. So if you do this like ping, the keys that you're trying to find will kind of glow a little bit. So you can kind of like use this ability to sort of try and find where some of them are. So like they'll glow, but then your sword also glows. So like if it glows green, we're sort of like we're not super like far away from it. It's not like cold, but it's not like hot. So like if we're hot and we're near a cube, it'll sort of glow blue. So you can kind of use this as a little bit of like a radar kind of thing to kind of figure out what keys are sort of like nearby.
I really like that. I really like that because like it feels very open world and explorative, but like with that ability, I don't feel like overwhelmed. On like, you know, like if I wanted to know where to go, I could figure out how to go to get certain objects and keys. But also with the sword, it reminds me a lot of Lord of the Rings. Which I love that. Yeah, because like
cool.
Frodo, or I think he has like some elvish sword that glows like blue whenever orcs are nearby.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. And so like that's one of like the keys. The other thing it kind of does too is like it just does that little like sonar thing to kind of let you know like where a door is. So there's a door in the spaceship there. So like if you get to like a bigger level, you can kind of like like really sort of traverse the treetops and then like just see like are there other doors like in the area that you can kind of find and stuff like that.
Wow.
I'm gonna sort of like drop down and kind of traverse across. There's like a double jump too. A lot of the game is like very vertical, and then there's also these there's a lot of like traversal abilities. So that's the jetpack, and then we could kind of just use that to sort of shoot up here, and then I missed that a little bit. Oh, and it uses energy too. So there's like a little blue energy bar there at the end that we sort of have to watch. So it's not like infinite. And then this guy is sort of letting us know there's kind of like a boss in the area. And actually, I could kind of maybe show that too. So there's like a quest log too that'll kind of like keep track of like, hey, you got one of the abilities so far. These are like different people we need to kill and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Chip Chips is kind of like, it's kind of like a cheesesteak quest of finding the best cheesesteak without me saying it's a cheesesteak.
That's funny.
And then this is the dash ability. This uses energy too, so you get like, you can kind of like get a couple dashes in. And then you can kind of chain them together too. So we could like dash and jump and dash and jump, and you kind of chain them together to kind of get some decent like distance going.
Also, the little character that's following you. Who?
Oh yeah, that's Lunchbox. He's like your little helper friend. So all the like pop-ups that actually kind of pop up, maybe I could kind of like go to like another one. But he kind of like pops those up for you. He's like your sort of like robot buddy kind of thing.
Okay.
And then this is sort of like your glider. The damage in the game is like, it's not necessarily like height based, it's all velocity based. So if I was to like, I guess like sort of go up super high and then we just fell, we generate enough speed sort of hitting the ground that you sort of take damage that way.
Oh wow.
So you sort of have to be, I guess, like a little bit careful at times. Like if you fly too fast into something, you'll kind of take damage and
Yeah, it looked like it hurt.
Yeah. And then there's like one more ability here. So then there's also this like grappling hook. And it's kind of just like sort of Spider-Man-y.
Oh, that's sick. Could you grapple, then like immediately go into your glider?
Yeah, like you could, like you kind of grapple and then you can
Whoa.
fly. And actually, if you fly down, you kind of pick up a lot of speed. If you fly up, you'll kind of go a bit slower. Hopefully, sorry. So I was flying a little too fast there.
No, that was sick. That was so cool to know you could go that fast.
Cool. We weren't killed by the spider. That should have been like philosophy, but yeah, this is like your sort of death screen. So I guess we'll kind of see that bit of it.
I love the little squiggles over.
Oh yeah. I was kind of, I don't know. Yeah, from like an art perspective, I was like, you kind of like, I wanted it to be ornate, but like you can kind of get away with the squiggles and it kind of gets the point across without spending a ton of time, I guess, like letting it, like drawing it all out. hopefully we've got like a beacon that I saved on that planet, so we could kind of like just jump back. So actually, I probably should have. We probably could have like done an upgrade. So you do kind of like lose the abilities that you get. So we did kind of like the jetpack and stuff. When you die, you lose it. But that's one of the like upgradable things that you can get in your home base, is you can make it so that you have it permanently, so that if you do die, it doesn't kind of go away.
I really like the art of this game too. Like, it's very this world feels very like mystical, but also how do I put this? It's like mystical, but it's I can't really describe it. It's an art style that like I'm not too familiar with, and because of that, it makes me like, I feel like it's like something I haven't encountered before.
Well, that's cool. I definitely tried to like make it unique. There's like, just because there's like so many games out now, like it's kind of like, if it doesn't sort of stand out, it's hard for yeah, if it doesn't look like it stands out, it's hard for it to stand out, I guess. And I was just like inspired by a lot of like stuff that I grew up watching, like Thundercats or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I tried to make it sort of like, I definitely played around with like making it look comic booky, or sort of just trying to like give it like an old paper feel sometimes, at times, to like try and make it unique, but like have maybe a little bit of, I guess, nostalgia kind of at times.
Definitely had that feeling, and on top of that, the music is just enjoyable to listen to.
Oh, cool. And we've got like sort of bouncy mushrooms. There is, I guess, like a bit of a distance on the grappling hook, so you can't like grappling hook from like stuff crazy far away, but
oh wow,
it's pretty good. And these are like these are your like bullets. So if we like pick up one of those, our ammo clip count will increase. And they kind of come from these plants too, so you can kind of like shoot those, and they'll kind of fall down, and we can collect them and stuff.
The bullets come from plants. I love it. And like,
and
so,
then,
do the bullets just keep, like, if I stand by that plant, will it just keep regenerating bullets?
No. So once you grab these, it saves that you've gotten these ones. So they'll kind of stay. Like, if we left this like level and came back, we'd see that they were gone. Like, it would remember that we collected those. So, and then like those kind of apply back to here. So now we have like 17 shots, so we could like increase our bullet speed or something, or our damage, and kind of play with that. And that kind of comes back to like playing with the enemies and stuff. So then we'll kind of start shooting like a little bit faster. There's lots of them. Like, you can kind of get up to, I haven't done a run where I've collected all of them, but I've gotten up to the like 60s or so, or 40s or 60s or something like that. So there's probably like 100 or so in the game at this point that you could kind of like get and play with and stuff.
Wow.
And then there's like, you could like switch to Princess Bubblegum or something.
That's sick. Oh, it's an egg. Okay.
Oh, and I didn't even yeah, I totally forgot. So you also have you have like this grow gun. So you have like a totally separate gun, and you can kind of just shoot it, and then it makes these sort of like plants, and they'll kind of like build on top of each other. So you sometimes like they'll shoot the bullets, and then the bullets will go like they'll start popping off a little bit. So you kind of make all these plants, and then you can just kind of use them to help you traverse. And then there are these other plants. So if you shoot like one of these, it'll grow more of these, and then you can kind of just like use that as like a traversal thing.
Does it permanently stay like that?
No, like you can like shoot them and destroy them. Oh, this is the
Cobra.
This is the boss too. Yeah. He's like easy until he gets a hold of you, and then if he kind of gets you, sometimes you're done. Like he can kind of get you quick. So I'm kind of just trying to like not get hit at all. Because once he does get you, you're kind of screwed. We probably got a little bit lucky that he sort of came after us early. Usually he dies, but I don't know.
He's like, not today.
Yeah, he's not. He might be bugging out right now because he should be dead right now. So I'm gonna bounce. He should have died. So I'm gonna have to check that. That might be a bug. Usually he dies. But yeah. So yeah, you can like shoot. You can like destroy the plants that you make. And if you restart, they'll kind of go away.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll help too with like, oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay, that was one of those drone bombs that kind of snuck up on me. Okay, we'll get out. Yeah. So once he gets you, and that's the thing with I guess the drones. The drones hang around like ruins, and they can kind of sneak up on you, and sometimes then in combination with some of the bosses and stuff, they can kind of get you.
Wow. Out of the plants that were growing, one of the things that I noticed is the bottom of the green ones with the stalks, like it almost looked like fur. Like the texture was so intricate. Like I caught myself just staring at it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's kind of like, actually I got like a fur. It is actually a fur shader. I got a fur shader on the asset store. So I need, this is made in Unity, and I'm gonna do like a little maybe like hacky thing here. Kind of jump up here. So these are some of like the different plants. So it is actually like a fur shader. That I sort of, I threw it on to hopefully make it look a bit more interesting. So you can kind of like, you can like shoot those. Whoops. And then you can, those ones are like a little taller, and then these ones are bouncy. So you can kind of like jump on these ones, and you can kind of like bounce a little bit. It's a little bit tricky.
That's cool. You can like run on top of it.
Yeah. So those are there to like, and they'll kind of go crazy, I guess, if you shoot them a bunch. So, yeah, whichever ones you shoot will kind of spawn more of, and then there's like some of the levels are like crazy tall. So like you might want to like shoot the top, or you might want to shoot the taller ones to climb up or something like that. maybe since we died a couple times. So now we've got like a couple murals. So maybe I'll just like grab our dash and maybe we'll grab like dash force, which will kind of give you, kind of just pushes your dash like a little bit further, so you can kind of jet that way. Yeah. The third one like really pushes you super far. I might even peel it back a little bit. I guess we'll see maybe if I die again or something. But yeah, that's sort of the, I don't know, that's kind of the like broad strokes of the game, I guess. And that little level kind of gives like a bit of a taste of everything. Like you can kind of get the abilities there and like collect the keys, and you can get some like coins to play with to kind of mess with your guns.
Are there enemies in space?
I haven't put enemies in space yet. No, just because like actually in like playtesting, it's been hard for people to fly the ship a little bit, so we've been trying to like simplify it. So I didn't put any enemies in space, but like hopefully like down the line there'll be some just like spaceship only levels where you kind of maybe have to fight some stuff a little bit.
I understand.
And then this is sort of like the main planet, which is just like this kind of just like takes you through the game a little slower. Like it's a little bit more linear, and it just kind of is meant to like teach you the ins and outs sort of the game. So like it'll kind of even just like teach you to jump, and like these are those save checkpoints that I mentioned. So like if we load the beacon, we kind of load those, and we can kind of like set our own as well. So we kind of like save anywhere. And yeah, and then this is just meant to sort of like give you some challenges and kind of teach you a bit more about the game in that way. This is like one of the like dead bodies that you can kind of find, and then there's like a suit there. So
because you picked that up, now you got the body.
Yeah. So now if we go back to the suits vendor, we'll kind of get that suit, which is kind of like a Mega Man kind of suit. There's a little bit too, like if you double jump at like the apex of your jump, you'll kind of get like a little bit of a boost. Or if you if you double jump like straight away, you'll get a boost too. Just because like everything is very sort of physics based, so if you kind of like double jump at the end, it's not necessarily like as powerful as if you maybe double jump closer to your apex.
By the way, your musical taste is like every single track I've heard, I'm like, yeah, I could listen to this for hours.
I sort of go to BeatStars, and sometimes I'll even just like work with the music on in the background, and then just if something stands out, I'll kind of save it to a playlist, and if it kind of stands out, if I start playing it a lot from that playlist, then I'm like, this would probably be cool to kind of go into the game or something.
Did you touch those things where they like kill you?
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah. So we're taking a bunch of damage there.
Oh my gosh.
We may die. Yeah. That's sort of the thing. I don't. Yeah. Those kind of chase you. There's like technically, actually that's gonna kill us for sure. Yeah, of course. Like behind the scenes, there's like a magnet on the player, and the vines are attracted to that magnet, so they'll kind of like chase you around wherever you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
We may have, or I may have sort of messed up. May have to like restart. I may have messed it up.
Oh no, we're dead. What is this? What happens when you actually die? It's just like a dead screen for forever. I mean, if it has this beat, I'd be okay with it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was sort of. I think I hit escape by accident. So.
Does it randomly generate the names?
Yes. There's there's a spreadsheet, so I've kind of been putting just like people I know and that I meet. Like at some point, if I haven't put you in the game yet, you'll definitely be in the game.
Oh wow, that's sick.
So yeah, I just kind of like Angelina is my mother-in-law, so I just I threw her in. She's kind of a gangster in her own right, cause she just came to America. Like she grew up in Shanghai in China and like had to come through Hong Kong and yeah, it's just like a hard. If you listen to some of the stories of her life growing up, like it wasn't easy. So, yeah, and she's going through I guess a hard time. She's got like Parkinson's now, so I don't know. I have a lot of respect for her. So, yeah, I just kind of like throw. I don't know. There's like a spreadsheet. It pulls from a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is just like people I know. But sometimes there's like famous kind of people. There's like some Eagles players in there.
No, okay.
And stuff like that. Hopefully just like fun bits and stuff like that. I have put a bunch of my friends, I put like their kids in the game so they get really hype about it. Oh geez, I'm gonna, this is like sort of a hack so I don't die right away.
Those things are very powerful.
Yeah, you can kind of use them to your advantage a little bit. Whoops.
I guess they could definitely keep you from falling.
Yeah, you could always kind of like, yeah, just use them to sort of keep you from dying if you kind of know you're gonna die a little bit. The game tends to be, or I think like game development in general, like when you're making a game, it always tends to come out a little bit like harder. Like as the developer, you always kind of make it hard. Like you make it hard for yourself, but like especially because like I play the game, I'm kind of good at it. So then like when other people are playing it, you gotta kind of like make it a little bit easier. So over time, I've always just kind of learned to like leave some of those things in or whatever. Or sometimes there's like bugs where you get an extra key or something like that I'll kind of leave in because it'll hopefully make the game a little easier for people, I guess, over time.
I understand.
So they kind of get actually I should show too, like you've got like a map, so it kind of shows you the just like the galaxy, but you could like check out your space station or like This is a map of sort of the moonlight level. This is a map of the main planet and like the places you can go and where some of the abilities are here. This is sort of like these are actually like my actual notes on the swamp level that I kind of just threw in. This is the question mark, sort of final level. So yeah, like I always want to see people, like I want to see people get to the end of the game and beat it, have fun with it in that kind of way. So I try to, yeah, it tends to, I guess all that is to say, like, it tends to be a bit hard, but I try to counteract that, I guess, by like trying to make it easier with little bits here and there.
And each of these levels, these are designed, right? I remember we spoke before a little bit about procedural generation.
There's a mix. So like some of these ones where it's sort of like teaching you a little bit of like, some of these ones where it's sort of teaching you a little bit of like, there's actually Lunchbox like telling you like, oh, you can jump and dash or something. So some of these tend to be a little more linear. And then as you get further along, they start to open back up again. And then you're sort of like, sword comes back into play a little bit to like help kind of direct you in those larger open levels. And the open levels, what was I gonna say? The open levels are a bit, some of those are they're like procedurally generated, but then I customized them from there, so it's not quite like a No Man's Sky kind of situation where it's like procedurally generated and there's thousands of them. There's like 35-ish levels, give or take.
Okay.
And maybe like a third of those were sort of procedurally generated and then sort of customized from there to kind of just make it more interesting. Like I could kind of, sometimes when you procedurally generate them, they're like, they can get a little repetitious, but sometimes you find stuff that, like, there's some stuff that I would never have come up with on my own or like thought to sort of do. So like those parts are really cool. So I kind of like take the best of the procedural generation. And then I can kind of like leave out the parts that are too repetitious or whatever.
After you defeated that spider, was this blood still attacking you?
The blood? No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like an effect sort of for, I picked up a time capsule, that might have been, maybe it was that. There's like a little effect from that.
Wow, yeah, the scale of everything. I'm just like looking at just how awesome it was. When you had the map open, that Sky Fortress and Cloud City looked super interesting.
Oh yeah. It does look cool. I could see how quickly we could kind of get there. It might take me a little bit to get there because it's a bit far along, but I could see if I could try and get there.
Either way, I'm quite enjoying myself. This is like very cool, and also just to hear about your process and how you went about designing this, and like such a cool tidbit about it. It always comes out harder for the player than it is for the developer.
It's like, yeah, because I teach too, like I see that just a bunch in student games, so I'm always like, it's always good to just play test and have people try it because you never there's always like things that you would not necessarily plan on being hard that are always hard. Like actually in that first level where there was like the little jump in the water, when I had first made that, I made it so you would fall down this like really long cave and build up enough velocity that the fall would kill you. But it took like I made it way too long and it took like 15 to 30 seconds to fall, and like watching people watch themselves have to like wait while they're falling a really long time only to see like a giant screen comes up that says dead was like way too frustrating in the beginning of the game for people. So it was just like one of those things where it's like, okay, like maybe I could put that at the end of the game or something, but that's like it's sort of like an unfair challenge, I guess, for me to like put that on people to kind of have to sit through.
I understand. Yeah, it's like there's like a lot to take into account, yeah, this is a good. Once again, I'm caught by the music. Like this is a good track. I mean, in particular, the vocals you chose, because there's like that like effect on it. They're pitched up and they're delayed out with like seems like you probably got like a vocoder on it. It like doesn't. If they were more natural vocals, it might take away the submersion of the experience. So this is another good track choice. It's very good.
Cool.
I feel like I'm still like in a mystical world. Yeah, Robert, you might have to put together a playlist for people.
I can share with you just like I guess what I have on BeatStars if people want to listen to it. Yeah, I dig it. I like put on music before I take a shower. I'm like I don't know if everyone is like I feel like my wife isn't like that. But like I have to, if I take a shower, like I have to like be listening to some good music. So I'll sometimes just put on like that playlist, like the playlist I have for the game, and just kind of listen to it and try and figure out what I'm gonna do and stuff.
Hey, you're definitely not allowed to listen to music when you take a shower. Also, you can ride the bee. That's super sick.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. The bee kind of lets you fast travel a little bit. I was just gonna skip it to sort of show this other level.
Yeah, I understand. That's so sick. Also, I love how like you're just like I feel like there's like no sky limit. I like that.
Yeah, once you kind of like really familiarize yourself with the ability, especially we lost a couple, but like you can really sort of like there are some levels where like one of the levels is Cloud City, and it's just like a city way sort of high up on this rock, and you can just kind of fly around. You can hover in the air for a really long time, and like the grappling hook is really good for like getting you in the air, and then the glider will let you fly, and then you like the dash will kind of stop your velocity sometimes if you like need to kind of slow down before hitting the ground, or like the jetpack is really good for like softening your fall. So like you can just kind of chain them all together and really just kind of hang out in the air a little bit. Like actually like one of the sort of feedback things that I always sort of got was like the jump is really high and it looks weird and it's kind of floaty, but it's somewhat intentional because of like when you do get all those abilities and you're kind of hanging out like later in the game, you want to kind of be able to have a little hang time and sort of like look around for like spots you might want to grapple onto, or like where you might want to fly or something like that. Um,
Is that tree
and
alive?
yeah, it's a tree creature that'll like eat the plants that you kind of drop, and then it might take him a little while, like he will actually kind of shit bullets that you can then use to kind of power up your grow gun again and kind of get more bullets. But also he's kind of like you can kind of jump on top of him, and so like we could even kind of use that to like maybe help us fight. Oh, blow. I blow. But we could kind of use that to like try and get on top of there, which could then like give us the key that's kind of up there. See if I can kind of get it. So there's like a key that's kind of up there. The dashing and stuff that I'm doing is usually like I wouldn't expect most players that I guess that are starting to
You
sort
making
of
it look super easy.
yeah. I've been playing this game for forever, so like I'm kind of like I've got I guess that part of it down, so I can kind of like get to some of the stuff that's above. But yeah, this is just kind of like this is one of the like sort of first open kind of levels in the game. That's kind of it's also just it's like meant to help you sort of find where some of the extra doors are, and there's like some heights that you can kind of get to, and there's actually like there's kind of like a boss in here too, if you kind of search around.
This grass animation is wonderful, by the way.
Cool, yeah. That's like another like sort of plug-in off of the like asset store that I find. Like there's a lot of like there's just like a very good middle market for Unity for like finding like little things that you can kind of add to the game, which are always like helpful. Sometimes I'll just kind of like go on the store and see what's there, and like even the magnets that are on the player were sort of like a like asset on the store, and sometimes you'll just like I'll just find some stuff there and I'll be like, oh, like that's cool, I could use that to do like X, Y, and Z or something like that. Or and the I don't know, I watched like we were sort of talking about the art style too. I watched this TikTok that was it was like your gaming setup based on your zodiac sign, and I'm a Pisces, and it said I would probably like what did they call it? It was like maximalism in a way, like trying to get as many colors or different things together at once and trying to make it cohesive. And I realized I kind of do. I realized I kind of do that like unconsciously. So like I try to make like the pause menu super colorful, or like the map is got like tons of different fonts. There's sort of things in there that I guess can sort of be like a faux pas, I guess, in a little bit of a way for certain people. Like they might say you should only use one font throughout the game or something, and
It feels very homey.
yeah.
Like I like the menu screen and so forth, and the colors. It feels very like this is a game that someone designed that wanted this to be that specific color. They wanted it to be that color because they like that color. That's what the vibe it gives me. That's why it feels more like it feels more I guess I could say to a certain extent, it's like I feel like, I mean, I've gotten to speaky, but if I didn't if I just knew of you and I played the game, like I guess I'd feel more connected, you know? Because like it's like oh okay, I kind of understand what they're like.
This is sort of like this is like your first like sort of big hub world in a way. That has like a city. So like this sort of comes back and you can sort of like spend your murals in there, or we could go back into the armory here and we could like give ourselves, it's actually we could even like lower damage just to kind of up maybe our precision a little bit. But yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff. This is sort of like your hub world. This then kind of like fans out a little bit. People will go with this one.
Is that sign to the left say Lizzie?
It does, yes. One of yeah, a couple of our interns, I made this like document and I was like, hey, we need to just like name stuff. If you've got any ideas, go ahead and just like throw them in this document. And someone threw that in there, and then we all just kind of thought it was very funny to me. So I kind of I threw it in and kind of kept it. Oh, there's like there we go. There's like another. Let me grab this. We got like a enemy kind of coming through here.
Whoa.
This is kind of like nice. So like a lot of times in games, at least the way it works behind the scenes is like it helps to have an enemy that's just kind of on the ground. And Ryan, who was like a Drexel student that sort of interned with me, like made these enemies that will kind of float around in 3D space, which is really cool. So they tend to like work really well for these like more open sort of planet or open foresty kind of levels. Yeah. In like later levels, there's like more of them, and they'll sort of get a little bit harder and stuff. And then yeah, like from here, there's actually like a ton of different sort of places we could kind of go. So we could kind of actually, if we look at that, we're like in the Oasis, so we could kind of like we could go south to like Waterfall City, or like we could go north to Cloud City, or we could go west to like the Autumn Forest. You mentioned kind of wanting to go to Sky Fortress, so maybe I'll try and like head north a little bit.
All right, Cloud City's cool too. I also see you got that pirate ship in the distance or something.
Yeah.
It's like is that on the map?
It's not on the. So that's actually like another sort of fast travel. So if you have the glider, it's a little like easier to get to that. How many keys? And actually it'll cost us a few keys. So maybe I'll kind of like see if we can grab a key down here.
Yeah, this like I feel so once again to the music selection, like
yeah,
so good, like more than just the fact that it's great music. Like when I heard this track, it actually let me realize how I would play this game, which is like I'm not play. I have no plans. I just want to zen out. And
yeah,
and this game gives me this vibe. And this music, like, whoa, what was that? How'd you do that?
That's like a little sort of. It's sort of a bug. I mentioned there's sort of like bugs, but I kind of keep them in a little bit. That's one of those. So like, it's sort of because things are like physics based a little bit. There's like a way you can sort of like hack it a little bit to kind of do this like triple jump and give yourself like a big kind of boost. So I was gonna kind of try and I was gonna try and use that to kind of get ahead a little bit.
I can definitely tell that you definitely been playing this game a lot, because you just like the thought I wouldn't have thought to do that. Like to think to dash left and right to get up there like that, I wouldn't have thought. Wow, that was.
I try to put like little. I'm sort of blowing it. I tried to put like sometimes little tips, or and you can kind of do that at the very beginning of the game if you know how to do it. But it's one of those things like people don't necessarily know it, so then I can kind of just be like later in the game, be like, hey, you know, if you want, you can kind of like do this triple jump, and then get like huge air.
Flat bar in the center of the ship, awesome.
Monty, who's like was another intern, went to UArts, made she actually made the ships and the bees, and a bunch of ships that we'll probably see in the Cloud City and the Sky Fortress and stuff. And actually these drones too. She did a bunch of stuff, which is cool.
Wow, doing a great job. Seriously, yeah, bro, there's not a track in here that does not hit. Like, I am seriously impressed about that. Like, I'm seriously impressed about that, because like, there's games that just don't have this good of a soundtrack. This is a great soundtrack. Like,
I tried to do, I don't know, I just like rap music too, and just like good beats. So yeah, I don't know, like sometimes video game music is, I like chiptune music and stuff, but sometimes video game music is like, it's very like, or it's heavy rock metal, or it's sort of like orchestral maybe in its score, or it's like chiptune. There aren't necessarily that many like just sort of games, especially games with like just like rap beats that aren't like crazy leaning into it too. Like sometimes when you get a game that has that, it's like it's leaning into it so much. But I don't know. I just like that kind of music. So
your soundtrack is like, as I said, when I first saw you at MagFest, that is the reason I walked over to the table.
Oh really?
Yeah,
oh, cool.
I heard. I was like, cause in my head I was like, wait a second, are they playing like a beat, or is this beat in the game? And then I came over and I was like, wow, this beat is actually in the game. This is like one of the only games I've seen here, or just like you just don't see many beats. Like, particularly hip-hop beats, like as the primary soundtrack for a game, you just don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
That's what drew me over. I was like, and it's also, it's again from the artwork to how the game operates to the soundtrack and the choices. Like, this game is so unique. It's so unique.
Cool. I try. Like, it was definitely a concerted effort. Especially to, I don't know. Like the overall concept isn't like great. Like sometimes if I'm describing it to people, I'm just like, it's kind of like Zelda, but I tried to do like little unique things to make like individual features different and stand out in that sort of way.
This you accomplished it, my friend. Like, wow.
This may have crashed, or maybe like crazy loading.
Well, either
we may have
way,
hit our first crash, yeah. But that's pretty good. We got pretty far.
Yeah.
To be honest, we got pretty far without like a huge crash.
This is great. We also are at the end of our time, but
okay.
So happy you're the one who played, because I don't think I would have gotten that far.
Yeah, that's the yeah.
But yeah, once again, yeah, thank you for coming on the live stream and showcasing this amazing game, City of Murals. And if you want to tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, just at Robert Nally on Twitter. Actually, like if you just kind of like Google City of Murals game or City of Murals Steam, it's on Steam. So you can like actually wish list super help us. I know like if you've watched like a game trailer within the last like 2 years, like they always kind of beg for wish lists because it does kind of help. Um, and we'll kind of the plan is to be in Steam's next demo fest. I think they call it like Steam Next Fest. So there'll be a public demo for people to try out on Steam come like October. And actually we'll be at your event too. So if people are in like the Philly area and they want to try out the game, they should come to your event at August 19th.
Yeah, August 19th,
Yeah.
Toonamaste. Yep, we're going to have Robert Nally's wonderful game for y'all to play, City of Murals. The vendors who will also be selling, gaming, anime-related products. There'll be cosplayers. There will also be breathwork and conversations around safe space, alongside Kenzie Black and myself performing some wonderful music for all of y'all. So, yes, please pull up. Please pull up. Follow us at Toonamaste.com, and please follow Robert Nally. And if you can get a chance to, maybe send him a message. I know the demo is out online, right? It's on Unity, or what store is it in?
It's actually so some people might have it. We did like little releases for people to kind of get. I don't think you can download it right now.
Okay.
But it will be on itch.io, and it will be on Steam, and there'll be like the public demo, probably mostly like what you saw today. I may sort of like cap it beyond what we kind of saw today, maybe just to like leave sort of the end of the game or something like that to the final release.
I understand.
But yeah, and which will kind of be I'm shooting for. I'll probably do like early access in January, and then I've I made like part of the I guess like I don't know, when I was sort of sitting down and like kind of designing the game. um and I'm like a Marvel fan, I guess. My wife is also like a huge Marvel fan, and I love that they sort of have this like universe where anything can kind of fit in. So um like all that is just to say like I'm gonna keep working on the game for as long as I can, for as long as is sort of humanly possible for me. So yeah, like it'll just be in development, but it'll be playable for people like in October, and then in January, like the sort of whatever's there now will be playable for people in January.
Wow. Wow. Loving it. Loving it. Loving it. Oh, that sounds great. Can't wait. Can't wait. Once again, if you want to get the in-person demo, come to Toonamaste August 19th.
Yes, yeah.
And it was a pleasure having all of you. It was a pleasure being here. Robert, thank you for your time. And we will see you at Toonamaste.
Yeah, I thank you. This has been great.